Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time is definitely one of the scariest story times I'll probably tell on this channel. Definitely. Today's story time is about the time somebody snuck into my house while I was asleep, and I woke up and saw them in there. And it was a very just terrifying moment. I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's just jump right into today's story time. So today's story time takes place in 2017. Okay, I was living in LA, and the thing about LA is it's a very populated city, obviously. So there's a lot of people, a lot of rich people, a lot of poor people, a lot of homeless people. Definitely a big homeless problem there. And it's sad, man. I lived on Hollywood Boulevard, so every time I would go outside of my apartment, there would be homeless people down there. And some of them would be very quiet, and they would just kind of sit there and, like hold up their cup, and people would give them money from time to time. Or there'd be the homeless people that would run up to you and be like, hey man, somebody's after me. His name's Trevor. If I don't get $30 in the next 5 minutes, he's going to appear out of the ground, rip my head off, rip your head off, and we're both going to go to hell instantly. Okay, so can you please just give me some money? And you're like, sorry man, I don't have any money on me. And he's like, you're fucking lying. So yeah, those are like the two types of homeless people I encountered in LA. And whenever I had money on me and I had the chance to, I would give them money because, being homeless fucking sucks, I'm assuming. But yeah, for some reason when I lived in LA, my experience with homeless people was either really good, like just very peaceful, or very chaotic. Like one time I went to the store across the street to buy some groceries, and when I left, a homeless guy tried to rob me. He hid behind a car and waited for me to pass by so he could jump out and probably beat me up and steal my money. But I walked across the street away from him, and he realized that and left because he couldn't rob me anymore. And then another time I was at a donut shop trying to buy donuts, and some random homeless guy walked in, and me and him made eye contact, and he pointed at me, and he goes, I remember you. You tried to beat me up yesterday. And I was like, dude, today's the first time I've left my house in 3 days. It wasn't me. And he's like, no, it was you. I'm like, no, man, it wasn't. And I had to convince him that I didn't try and beat him up. So yeah, you're probably like, Austin, why are you telling us all this? Well, it matters for later, okay? Anyway, today's story time all starts off as a normal day in 2017. I'm at my apartment in LA. Like I said, I live right on Hollywood Boulevard. So every time I would leave my apartment to get food or get groceries, I was right on the boulevard with all these tourists. And, in the daytime it was really crowded. And at nighttime there was a lot of homeless people. And, the whole day went by pretty much, very normal day. And then at about 12 midnight, one of my friends hits me up and he's like, yo, I'm having a party right now. Do you want to come through? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, come on, man, just come through for like an hour. I'm like, all right, fine. So I get all my stuff together and I go to my friend's house for an hour, literally like an hour, maybe an hour and 30 minutes. And I leave his house and I go back to my apartment. I get inside, I take a shower, I get ready for bed, and I lay down on my bed, just hanging out on my phone. It's like 2:30 in the morning at this point, just really tired, ready to go to sleep, right? And while I'm on my phone, I slowly start to drift off to a nice state of dreaming. And then my phone falls on my face because I was still holding it when I was drifting off. So after I hit myself in the face with my phone, I'm like, okay, that's enough of being on my phone tonight, bedtime. And I put my phone down and I go to sleep. And I wake up 45 minutes later to a weird smashing sound in my kitchen. It sounded like a glass broke on my floor. And I didn't have a cat, I didn't have any dogs at this point, no pets, nothing that could be in my apartment to make a glass fall off the counter onto the floor. So I think about it for a second and I'm like, Austin, you live on a high up floor in an apartment building with pretty good security. You don't live with anybody. There's no possible way a glass could have just broken in your kitchen. Like, you're probably just hearing stuff. You're tired. If anything, you probably just heard something outside on Hollywood Boulevard and you think it's in your apartment. Like, just go back to bed. You're fine. So I close my eyes and I start trying to go back to sleep. And then I hear something else in my kitchen. Right as I'm about to fall back asleep, I hear my refrigerator door open and then close. And I just immediately sit up in my bed, like completely terrified. And I'm thinking to myself, yup, somebody is in my apartment right now. Like, either somebody just broke in my place, or ghosts are real, and there's one in my kitchen right now trying to make a sandwich. So yeah, I'm just sitting up in my bed, terrified, freaking out inside, wondering what to do. And I immediately open my phone to dial 911 because I'm about to call the cops because someone's in my place. And right as I'm dialing 911, someone tries to turn the doorknob on my bedroom door. Like, I hear it, and they're about to go in my room. But luckily, I lock my bedroom door by habit, and they can't get in. So I'm just staying as silent as I can because I don't want this person to know that anybody's home. And like, I want to dial 911, but if I do and I start talking right now while someone's right outside my bedroom door, they'll definitely be able to hear me, even if I'm whispering. I was so close to the door, so I did not want them to hear me and then try and like kick the door down. So I sit there silently, as silent as I can be for a second, and I hear them walk away from the door. So they walk back into the kitchen, and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, now's my chance. So I call the cops, I tell them where I'm at, what's going on. They tell me the help is on the way, and to wait there and don't move. So yeah, I'm just sitting there waiting for something to happen, right? Like I'm sitting there just hearing all these sounds. I'm hearing like my drawers getting opened in my kitchen. I'm hearing like silverware getting moved around. I'm hearing glasses getting moved around. My fridge keeps opening. And then randomly, I hear the TV turn on. And then I hear someone chuckle, like laughing in the living room. And I think to myself, something isn't right. Like, this person's been in my apartment for a while now. Like, I was living in a very small one-bedroom apartment. Like, it did not take a long time to see what was in there. Like, he could have robbed me and left within 5 minutes. But he was staying longer than that. And I was so confused. And I heard the TV on and laughing. And I heard, like, my fridge opening. Like, this didn't sound like somebody that was robbing me. This sounded like somebody that was in my kitchen looking for food and then watching TV. Like, something wasn't adding up. So I then decided to do the dumbest thing you could ever do in a situation like this. I put my phone down and tiptoed over to my bedroom door and slowly opened it to get a peek into the living room and see who was out there, which is a stupid thing to do. If you're ever in this situation, even though I hope none of you ever are, never do that. But yeah, my dumb ass peeks out of my door, and I immediately make eye contact with this person in my living room, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a friend, maybe. No, some random dude, probably in his 40s, is staring at me, looking creepy as fuck, and before I could say or do anything, he freaks out and runs towards the door and runs out of my apartment. And I go up to my door and I realize that it was unlocked. My dumbass left my door unlocked before I went to bed, which I never do, so I'm very surprised by that. So anyway, after this, I grab my phone. I tell the police that the guy just ran out of my apartment and that he's probably going to be by the main entrance/exit of my building. And they grabbed him. They got him at the exit. They put him in handcuffs. I walked downstairs with one of the police officers. He showed me him in the car, and he asked me if I knew who it was, and I said no. But I could immediately tell after seeing him with some light on him, like outside, and with the flashlights on him and stuff, that this dude was homeless. He was a homeless dude. So I talked to him for a second. I was like, yo, man, like, why were you in my apartment in the middle of the night like that? You scared me. He's like, I was just looking for somewhere to sleep, man. And I'm like, it's all good, dude. That's what I figured. But, like, you can't be doing that, man. Like, especially in a building where people live. Like, what if you accidentally entered someone's place who had a weapon or something, man? Like, that wouldn't have been good. He's like, yeah, dude, I know. And after talking to him, I told the cop, I was like, yeah, I'm not pressing charges on this guy. Like, please just let him go when you can, because he wasn't trying to hurt me. He was just looking for somewhere to stay, clearly. And the cop's like, yeah, I figured. We'll probably have paramedics, like, just make sure he's okay and stuff, and we'll go from there. And I was like, all right, great. And after that, I said goodbye to everybody. I said thank you. I went back upstairs to my apartment, and I tried to go back to sleep. But I was definitely a little bit too anxious to sleep, so I kind of just stayed up all night, just in shock at what happened. But yeah, in the end, everything was all good. That dude was fine. He got released. I actually saw him again like a week later on the boulevard, and he was just chilling there. So yeah, he was all good, and everyone was good. So yeah, that's pretty much into the story time. Definitely one of the scariest moments ever. I thought you guys would enjoy hearing about it. If you enjoyed this story time, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.
I'm back. I don't wanna look back, I don't want it like that. I've been going too fast, all the girls like that, and the